I never thought I would have to choose between my health and the two animals who had been with me for 8 years. They're not special. No breed, no perfect symmetry. Just two cats I picked up off the street when they were small and terrified. They stayed with me through everything: breakups, career struggles. Moving into my first apartment, they were always there. At 31, I started waking up unable to breathe properly. Red eyes, constant sneezing, fatigue. The allergist confirmed it quickly. "You're allergic to cats." He said it like it was simple: remove the source. I tried medication. It didn't always work. Eventually, I wrote an adoption post online. People judged me instantly. No one asked how hard it was. That day, I walked outside crying. An older woman stopped me. I told her everything. She said, "You saved them once. You'll save them again." I went home expecting the symptoms. Nothing happened. I stopped taking medication. Still nothing. A year later, they're still here. Recently, I found an injured kitten under my car. Now there are 3. I don't know what changed. I just know I couldn't abandon them. And somehow, I didn't have to.
He hasn't harmed me since we broke up, but every time he reappears, something in my life falls apart. We separated years ago. Back then, I felt like I had lost everything. He wasn't physically violent, but he knew how to break me emotionally. Constant criticism, control, making me feel responsible for everything. Leaving him felt like learning how to breathe again. Then I met my husband. He's calm, stable. Life with him is quiet in the best way. We've been together over 4 years now. Still, sometimes the past finds its way back. I've blocked my ex everywhere: phone, social media, email. I don't respond. Yet sometimes he reaches out through other people, mutual acquaintances, unknown numbers. Short messages: "Hi, how are you? I saw you recently." And every time, something inside me tightens. Often after that, something else goes wrong. Financial problems, document issues, family illnesses, random disruptions that shake our routine. Logically, I know these are coincidences, but emotionally it feels connected. He never threatens me directly. He doesn't ask for anything. He just reminds me he exists. I asked him once to leave me alone. He never replied. My husband tells me he has no power over my life. I want to believe that. But whenever my phone lights up with an unknown number, my heart still reacts before my mind does. I hate that even now, he can still make me feel this way. I just want him to disappear from my life completely.
I'm an idiot. I have a girlfriend, and I have another woman I can't let go. The other woman came first. It didn't feel serious at the time, just attraction, just intensity. She changes the atmosphere when she walks in. People notice. She knows how to hold attention. Being with her feels electric. With her, everything is intense. Physical connection feels consuming. Conversations go beyond routine. But she was never fully mine. She lives independently, comes and goes, never promises stability. Then I met my girlfriend. She's different, calm, reliable. She notices small things. She cares without asking for anything dramatic. She loves me. I thought she would help me move on. That stability would replace intensity. It didn't. I still see the other woman occasionally. Sometimes months pass, then one message, and everything returns. My girlfriend senses something. She doesn't ask directly, but I see it in her eyes. She left once. I realized how empty everything felt without her. I asked her to come back. She did. Now she trusts me again. And I'm still divided. With one woman, I feel desire. With the other, I feel peace. I know eventually I'll lose both. And I'll have no one to blame but myself.
I still remember the departure board. The word departed appeared the exact moment I reached the platform. I ran as fast as I could, dragging my suitcase, lungs burning. But the train was already leaving. 5 minutes too late. I sat in the waiting hall, furious at everything. Next train, 6 hours. That's when he sat beside me. "Mind if I play a bit?" I muttered. "Do whatever." He started playing. Quiet, soft. I didn't realize when I began listening. We talked. Hours passed. When my train was finally announced, I realized something terrifying. I didn't want to leave. I gave him my number, boarded the train. 2 hours later, I got off, bought a ticket back. He was still there. A year later, he played that same melody at our wedding. And sometimes I remind him, if I hadn't missed that train, we never would have met.
My mother told me calmly, like it was just another memory. But everything changed. We were sitting in the kitchen drinking tea, talking about ordinary things. Then she said, "I need to tell you something." She began talking about her life before I was born. She was 19, pregnant, alone. Her parents insisted she couldn't raise the child. She gave birth. Then she said, "You have an older brother." I didn't understand at first. I had always been the oldest. I asked where he was. She said, "In an orphanage back then, as if time erased him." She said she never looked for him, that she was afraid, that life moved on. Then she asked me not to tell my younger siblings. I agreed. But now, every family gathering feels different. They still call me the oldest. They still look at me the same way. And I know there is someone missing from the picture. Someone who existed before all of us. Sometimes I wonder where he is now. If he ever thought about the family that never came for him. I don't know whether keeping the secret is protecting my mother or betraying him. But I know I'm not who I thought I was anymore.
We were together 19 years. It only took 1 year of outside influence to destroy it. We started with nothing. Small apartment, shared plans. Built everything, step by step. Eventually we achieved stability, properties, cars, savings, a life we created together. We never had children. That was painful, but we handled it. Then she met someone online, a self-proclaimed psychologist. No formal training, but a large audience and financial backing. At first it seemed harmless. Then she started repeating new ideas. That she deserved more. That people should live for themselves. That extended luxury vacations were normal expectations. That her partner should provide a higher lifestyle. She began looking at me differently. One day she packed and left to stay with her sister, said she needed space. I didn't argue. I simply told her her sister might not expect this arrangement long term. She laughed. A week later, I filed for divorce. Soon after she returned, said she made a mistake, asked to come back. But something had already changed. She had chosen to leave. And I had chosen not to wait.
My fiancé left me for my sister, and my mother knew the whole time. I didn't hear rumors. I saw it myself. His phone lit up on the kitchen table while he was in the shower, my sister's name. The messages weren't new. This had been going on for months. They talked about missing each other, about figuring things out soon. When he came out, I asked, "Are you leaving me for her?" He didn't deny it. No drama, no apology, just truth. I called my mother. I needed her to tell me this was wrong. She said she already knew. That moment broke something permanent inside me. What hurt even more was what came after. They still invited me to family dinners like nothing happened, like I was supposed to accept it. They acted like I was the one who needed to move on. One Saturday, I sat alone in a bar. 3 women asked if they could share my table. Within an hour, I was crying in front of strangers. They didn't minimize it. They didn't excuse anyone. They said clearly, "You were betrayed." For the first time, I believed it. That night, I stopped answering messages from people who had stopped being my family long before. Those women became my support. They weren't rescuers. Just people who showed up, honestly. Eventually, I met one of their brothers. I was cautious. But he stayed patient. Now he's my husband. Sometimes I think about how close I came to staying where I wasn't valued. My sister and my ex didn't last. He left her too. And I realized something important. Family isn't always who you're born into. Sometimes it's who stands next to you when everything falls apart.
Our last conversation ended with me raising my voice. I was sure we still had time. I'm 26. My mom was 47. That's an age where death doesn't feel possible. She was always there. I never imagined life without her. She got sick suddenly. Fever, headache, hospital, meningitis. I knew it was serious, but I still believed she'd recover. She was strong. She always handled everything. We weren't allowed to visit. Isolation ward, infection risk. Only phone calls. She called whenever she could. Her voice became weaker. Sometimes she sounded confused, sometimes scared. One evening she called and said, "I think I'm dying." I reacted with anger, not because I didn't care, because I was terrified. I told her to call the nurses, to get help. I sounded harsh, impatient. She said quietly, "I love you." I replied something practical, something cold compared to what she said. I believed it wasn't the last time we'd talk. It was. She was gone days later. At the funeral, people approached the coffin. They touched her hands, said goodbye. I couldn't. I walked past and stared at the floor, repeating in my head, "Don't look." It felt like if I saw her like that, it would become final. Now I wake up sometimes and forget for a second, then it comes back. I still have her contact saved. I can't delete it. The hardest part is knowing the last words she heard from me weren't, "I love you." I hope she knew anyway.